Hello, my name is Sackett. We are playing all the mods 9, and last time we made this fancy Paxel, which I have not enchanted or done anything else with yet. This time we are going to start working through the rest of the mechanism quest line. Now, we'll go through this pretty quick. We built the, the tier 5 ore processing stuff already. We do want to open this up, basically, because right now all of the advanced mechanism quests are full. Now, some of this, though, we are gonna need. Now, we got our pressurized reaction chamber. Doesn't seem like we needed it to make the endgame armor, but we could go ahead and what does it do is the question. Oh, okay, yeah. I think we do need this. I think we do need this. Let's go ahead and go ahead and make it. Those are all pretty basic materials. We haven't seen the dynamic tank. We haven't done anything with it yet, but everything we haven't done in this world so far is, with that at least, is stuff that we've done before. We're going to hook it up. And, I took the trouble to make the crafter and everything else, but I don't think the refined storage system can handle mechanism gases. I don't think it can. Some mods are able to treat them like liquids, but there's one way to find out, right? I don't think that we've made an electrolytic separator. So let's go ahead. I'm almost sure the answer is no. But we can find out. Now, last time we used an electrolytic separator, among other things, to separate water into hydrogen and oxygen, right? So let's take, darn it, let's take some water, and let's throw it in there. We'll get some hydrogen, we'll get some oxygen, and now let's go ahead and get an importer. I don't think this is going to do a darn thing, but, for science. Alright, we got an importer right up front. So if we're on items, we want gases. How about an output? It's ejecting, and we turn this to fluids. Items, fluids. It's not going to do anything. No, I didn't think so. So we'll have to have this kind of stuff probably set up. Be out here in the middle or in another room. I'm not sure. We may not end up needing much of it besides the reaction chamber. We shall see as time goes on. I just went ahead and blasted through those. We've seen all of that in previous episodes. What all did we get here? Oh, stuff we'll use. Okay, so it looks like the Mechanism Advanced chapter starts right here. And then we can go on to Advanced Power Storage. Or we can go towards the reactors, which I think is directly where we want to go. So just go ahead and make this hazmat stuff. I don't think there are any surprises here. It's just lead and orange. Lead and orange, awfully heavy. And more lead. And a little bit of black dye for the boots. Doubt we're going to be using it. But I do like the look of it, so we're going to make ourselves an armor stand and put it somewhere. Perfect. Next up, it looks like they want us to make a 5x5x5. Maybe That's what we'll do. I mean, it looks like this is designed to guide us through, so if we have to make a bigger one, we'll have to make a bigger one. Just wants us to start with reactor casings, 44 of those, and reactor glass. Enriched iron. We tore down our, what do you call it? Our iron infuser. We might have to put that back up. Okay, we should have our reactor glass. And we should have our fission reactor casing. Right. Now we're also gonna want the inside using several fission. We're gonna make, I guess, just one of them? It looks like. That's fine. So 2 fission fuel assemblies and a control rod assembly. Alright, looks like assembly is the thing to look for here. It's, you know, basic chemical tank and nothing too complicated so far. Alright. We'll be using that. Now it also wants us to make 4 ports. Okay, fission reactor ports. Not too bad. It's just some casing and an elite control circuit. And we're also gonna make 2 logic adapters. Fission reactor logic adapters. These let you control or react to certain things using certain events in the reactor using redstone. And if you watched Feed the Beast Plexiglass Mountain, you might understand why I would want that. Mistakes were made. And for the same reason, we're going to be doing this in the mining dimension. Good old-fashioned mining dimension. So, what I think it had us doing, it was supposed to be like a 5x5, right? So, there we go. And another. Oh, it's a little laggy in the mining dimension. That's alright. And then, what else was it showing us here? Okay, it was going to have us go around and probably have a full cap on the top. I'll just box this out. If I had read a little more carefully, I would have known that the all of the walls can be made out of glass. It's just the edges that have to be made out of the casing. So we could put this up in the air and it wouldn't look completely ridiculous. And we may end up with one of these in the air. So we'll fill in with glass, mostly. We're going to leave some space for the ports. There we go. Then if I understand properly, what we do is we'll take our fuel assembly like so, our control rod assembly like so, right? Right? Sure looks that way. And then we'll put in some more reactor glass. And we will put, I think we need a reactor glass there, yeah. Also put the logic gates. How did it have this set up? It was pretty cool. Okay, one on top, one on the bottom. So, like, yay and yay. And I don't think it matters. Like, I don't think these blocks have an orientation. There we go. There's another port. There's another port. And we got ourselves a reactor. Now we do need, I guess, an interface. Observe a completed reactor. Okay. Now can we just right click it? Yes, we can. All right. Awesome. Now we will need fuel. We'll need a couple of things. According to the quest log here, we'll need coolant input and output, fissile fuel input, and waste output. I'd imagine the next thing it's going to do is, yeah, fissile fuel production. So we'll have, okay, we'll be making uranium hexafluoride, so we'll need hydrofluoric acid and uranium oxide. Now it has occurred to me that we'll need power to get power out there. We'll also need to be moving it around. And I wanted to look at the mechanism. That's all the Greg Tech stuff. It's so bulky. We've got all these different, we could do 1,000,000 FE a tick with a nitro cable, and we may be looking at that. But I think for the fuel production, at least to start, we could use the mechanism cables. I think there are quests for making all 4 types anyway, so as soon as I find them in here, these are probably them. Those are the transporters. Thermodynamic conductors, I guess that's for heat. Pressurized tube, mechanical pipe. They're here somewhere. Universal cable. Okay, we have some ultimate universal cables. That's pretty cool. But I don't think we'd get credit unless we make the other ones. Yeah, we'll make the other ones real quick. We'll be using these. So I guess we'll set our fissile fuel production back here. We're gonna start with just the ultimate energy cube. We got a magmatic dynamo. Let's get that facing the right direction. And we're going to take a pipe and ender tank. We got a little bit of orange dye. We got our pipe wrench. I'm doing it wrong? Alright, I don't think we were doing anything wrong. I think it's just glitchy out here. We got our various dynamo upgrades. That'll be enough to get us started here, I think. And we'll just run some of this cable along. Now what we'll want to do... Oh, wow, it's got a buffer, huh? Okay. What we'll want to do, for one thing, is find our configurator. I haven't seen that thing in ages. Well, it looks like it's fine anyway. I guess where we start is hydrogen and oxygen. It's the hydrogen that I think we're gonna need to make something. Ooh, it's laggy out here. Anyway, let's get a sink and get this thing set up. We will have to move some gas around. And I do like the gas pipes from... That's the wrong GUI. I do like the gas pipes from the pipes mod. They work just fine. We'll make some of those. So we're gonna, the first step is sulfuric acid. So we can take pretty much any sulfur and just run it through a chemical oxidizer and some power, and that will get us thing 1, which is sulfur dioxide. We're gonna take that and we're gonna send it into a tank. Front's gonna be done, but the right's gonna be an output. The sulfur dioxide, we're gonna want to run through a chemical infuser with oxygen. So we're gonna put And infuser over here. We got sulfur dioxide coming in here. We're also gonna make input 2 be the top. And the right's gonna be an output, I think. We'll make this one a none. That's items. Alright, let's do that with gases. Now the sink, as you should remember from the last world, is an infinite water source. That's pretty fast. And it will give us our hydrogen and our oxygen. We'll be using, what is it, the hydrogen? Or will it be the oxygen? I think it's the oxygen we're actually using. Yeah. Okay, so we'll send the oxygen out. That's hydrogen. Okay, so we'll want to make that, we'll want to make this one output 2 and this one output 1. Right? Top's going to be an input. That's still items. Let's go back to gases. That's going to be output 1, that's going to be output 2, I think. So if we put our hydrogen tank, that one's empty. We put our hydrogen tank back down, it should continue to fill up. And now we should get oxygen over here. We're going to set this one to output. Turn that off. And we're going to run one of these gas pipes. Crying out loud. We're going to use one of these gas pipes to pump straight in here. And this will start making us our sulfur trioxide. We're also gonna be putting that in a tank. Let's make a none. Okay. And then the sulfur trioxide, we're gonna run through a chemical infuser. We'll get the sulfuric acid. Now the gas we're looking for is water vapor. And we're going to make that with a rotary condensator. I'm not particularly worried about a tank on this one. But we'll take another sink. That's not where I want it. I don't think that's where I want that either. I think we're going to want to pump out the top. Yeah, let's go over here to the gases. We're going to pump out the top. We're going to turn that off, right? And then fluids will actually input from over on this side, right? So we'll put our sink down, pipe wrench down, fluids, input, hello. We did it wrong again, did we? Items. Fluids. Yeah, input. I wonder what's going on. What am I doing wrong? We might have this backwards. There we go. That's the problem. It's the toggle operation. We had it set up perfectly fine. Now, we're getting that over here. And we got our sulfuric acid going. We're going to want another tank. And we are also going to want to load these chunks. Now one thing I do want to do if these fill up is to dump the excess. We're not even doing anything with the hydrogen right now. Anywhere else where we might need to do that? I don't think so. We'll have to keep our eye on that. That can slow you down. Now we made this chemical dissolution chamber. A little bit expensive, but nothing we haven't seen before. And we made the fluorite seeds much earlier. We are gonna go ahead and use them. All we gotta do is slap the machine down. We're gonna set this thing to output to the right. It's already full of sulfuric acid. That's good. We're going to want to go back to the gases. We're going to eject to the right. Yep, very good. And we're going to want to be able to do items from the top. Okay, for now though, just throw some fluoride in there. We'll get another drawer pipe hookup. There's our hydrofluoric acid. We will be using this with uranium oxide to make uranium hexafluoride because, you know, of course we will. Now the next thing we need to do is make yellow cake uranium. And we're going to do that in an enrichment chamber. Tear it up a few times. Ready to feed it. We're then going to take the yellow cake and feed it right into a chemical oxidizer. That's going to be an input. And we'll want to come over here to gases. That's nothing. That's going to be our output. It's not really doing, is it? Oh, turn eject on. The outputting, I believe, to this side. Let's see. Oh, that uses some power, huh? Yeah, okay. Now, last but not least, you need to throw this stuff into a chemical infuser. We're going to want to set that to an output, so we've got our hydrofluoric acid in here. We're going to set top, that's going to be our output, to input 2. And we're going to run ourselves a gas pipe, whoops, not there, right along there. Set this to extract. I'm wanting here and set that to an output. And in here, we will get uranium hexafluoride. Now, the last thing we need for the fuel for this thing is this isotropic centrifuge. It's going back and forth to the mining dimension has been a little crashy. I want to make sure we have the shaders off. Oh, that turns them on. Okay, we definitely want them off. Oh, we're gonna want one more tank, and you know, to make the centrifuge instead of just making the recipe and walking back to the mining dimension. All right, we got our tank here. We'll put this down. We'll want it to accept gases, and we'll want this to pump it out. There's our fissile fuel. We can pump that straight in. But there's a couple of things that we got to worry about first. We do need coolant in this thing, so we're going to make another sink. We are going to deal with waste. We are going to do the plutonium. We're going to send the waste itself through another isotropic centrifuge, get a little water, a little fluoride dust to make the pellets. But then we'll need to pump that out into these waste barrels. Let's see what's all involved. Okay, so steel and lead. Quest was 3, we might as well make 3. Finally, we're going to make ourselves a fluid trash can. Because we will have, I don't think we're going to be running a turbine off of this one. I think we're going to try to build a fusion, that's the wrong teleporting thing. I think we're going to try to build a fusion reactor as soon as we can, but anyway, this is a port, so let's see. It's like it's just heated coolant tank, waste tank. I wonder. Well, we'll just put this here and see what, if anything, it does. What's the worst that can happen? Well, we know the answer to that question. We're gonna need another sink. And okay, so that's actually filling up. This might be fine. It might be fine. I'm not sure. We're going to set up isotropic centrifuge, I guess, over here. We'll run some more cable. We have plenty of it. What do we need? A gas pipe, probably. Probably a gas pipe. Glad. Okay. So we'll run this down here. Set it to extract. Fill power. And then we're going to want it to be able to take gases from the back. And we're going to output them out to the front, I think. Yeah. And right here, we're going to have a pressurized reaction chamber. It should create waste. I'm not sure if the waste is a fluid or a gas. And finally, we can go ahead. We're going to want a tank here as a buffer. And I guess we'll put these down. See how we do. It's millibuckets. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, here goes nothing. Let's go ahead and get that. Let's make that circuit breaker thing. That sounds good. What did it want? It wanted a redstone, a piston, a gravel, and an observer. So I think the principle is simple enough. We'll do damage critical. It'll output. Or do we want that down here? Let's see what it is. So yeah, damage critic now. That's not what we want. We want, no, that's not what we want either. Activate the reactor with powered. We're gonna read this again. I'm struggling a little bit. So we'll set the top of the adapter to activation and the bottom adapter to damage critical. Activation, right? Ooh, we're hurting out here. And damage critical. This one gets an observer. It's going to take a redstone signal. That is not the direction I want it to face. There we go. We're gonna have a little tight in here. Darn it. Place. There we go. We're gonna want to have a piston right here. Right? Wrong? Let's look again. No, it's one more down. So, like so. And like so. And we'll take the cobblestone, we'll put it right there. A little bit of dirt. A little bit of redstone. And this should turn off if things go too poorly. We shall see. Let's go ahead and set this to extract. Wow, the lag. Turn it on. Okay, it's getting warm. Alright, we're gonna turn it off. We're gonna let that coolant tank fill up first. I guess the last thing to think about is a solar neutron activator, but for this we will need a little bit of plastic. The first thing we'll need to make that is some biofuel. That is the wrong GUI. Well, we can do that at our crusher. Shouldn't be a big deal. We can remember how to spell it. Bio something, right? Like, it looks like, yeah, that's it. No, that's biochaff. That's it. So we'll just go ahead and make a recipe for it. We'll make a bunch of it. Okay. Aha. We're out of juice. Let's, go ahead and grab all this stuff here. Oh, it's not completely out of juice. Basically out of juice, though. Let's see. Yes, this looks like a reasonable way to go. We could set up like over here, maybe. Or are there more? Oh, there's. Oh, you know what we should do? We're running out of not the quests. No, not the quests. We should. Tonight. We want to unclaim that. And then we'll find a nice big lava ocean. Okay, we got our reaction chamber out here. Giving us a little bit of substrate. We're getting some ethylene over here, which I'm sure we'll use. Our pump is loaded and it's working. I don't know why we're not getting anything out here. My dimension's weird. We've been crashing a bit. And you know, we're going to use mechanism pipes. I have noticed over the years that the, whoops, we're in the stronghold, that the pipes mod and mechanism ports, at least when it comes to liquid, they do not always play well together. I made the pipes and I realized I don't even know if we have a configurator. I think we don't. So let's see. There it is. What do we need? I mean, I guess we might as well make a recipe for it, right? We're definitely going to lose it at some point. So let's go ahead and craft this thing up. This is, we used it in the last world. It's the kind of wrench of the mod. Definitely haven't done it. Now this thing does need some power. So we're just going to juice it up. I'm going to put it right here. Not like that. Let's try that again. Here we go. And you just shift right click. That's our out. It's just going to pump from the sink and this will actually start filling up. We're going to do the same over here, except this time we really are going to set it to extract from the port. It doesn't look like you have to set the ports to do this, that, or the other, which is good. Now we're going to need a pressurized reaction chamber out here. Let's make sure this thing is set to output. It's not really getting much juice, is it? Oh, these things are taking up a lot of power right now, so we'll give it a minute. Okay, very good. Now we'll want to set it to take some gases from on top. Very good. Because we're going to need to get this ethylene. Oh, for crying out loud. It's always something, isn't it? Where's our pipe wrench? I hope we can get that out of there. Might not be able to. Break it? We get rid of it? Now it's full of hydrogen. Okay, I just made another one. I can't, figure out how to get it out of there. Alright, so if we set this on the front output, it's already set. Very good. Pump the ethylene in here. And we're not going to need, like, millions of pounds of this stuff. So we're just going to go ahead and throw some substrate in here. We're also going to need, I believe, oxygen. Let's see. Water will get us more substrate. This isn't what I thought we were doing here. Pressurized reactions. Yeah, ethylene and water. Okay. Well, it's the HDPE pellets we want, so it's ethylene and oxygen. Alright, we got our oxygen down here. We're going to make sure fluids, gases. We're going to make sure all of these are set to none. Now we should be able to run a gas pipe right along here. Gases. We got an input over there. Is it that input 2? No, it's just an input. Set it to extract. Will it fill up? Aha. No, it won't. Eject is on. We're outputting to the front. The oxygen's going somewhere. It may be favoring that top one. Dang. Alright, I made a third one. We're getting oxygen into this thing. Like, it's the last thing we do, I swear. Okay, there's some oxygen. We'll need to make some more ethylene. Okay. Pressurized reaction chamber number 3. We got it. We're going to go ahead, we're going to want to separate this first of all, and hope that is not pumping the ethylene in. It's like we can get one or the other. It's so strange. It's a gas. I got a gas pipe. Full of oxygen. That's not an issue. This is also full of oxygen. That's not the problem. What is the problem? It's gotta be liquid ethylene. That's the problem. That's the problem. So how do we turn this? We need a rotary condensator to turn it into liquid ethylene. As you can see, though, the switch to the mechanism mechanical pipes, like this thing is now filling up. And it keeps filling up when we go back and forth between dimensions. So all of that is quite good. We want to get it filled up all the way. This, however, this isn't working. It's filling up with gas. Now, I thought, reading the description, and I thought it was telling me that it was filling up with a liquid, but that's not what's happening. Now the question is, do we have a gas trash can? And I'm thinking the answer might be no. Okay, so what I guess we'll do, we don't need that much of this stuff. We're gonna put our condensator right here and make sure this is set to output to the top. Gases, we want that a big fat none. And then liquids, right? We want to be able to output to the front. So let's go ahead and grab our tank full of ethylene. Be able to output right there. This will give us some liquid ethylene. With that, we should be able to pump it in. We'll throw in our substrate, and we'll finally get some HDPE pellets, which we can throw in an enrichment chamber, 3 of them, to get the sheets. Like high density polymer something. We got an enriching factory. We sure do. Now I put a recipe in for the solar neutron activator. Be able to craft this right up. And we're going to pop it down right here. Okay, it's going to input. Very good. And then finally, right along here, we're going to put these radioactive waste barrels. Oh, they don't like the gas pipes, do they? Maybe they only accept inputs from the top and the bottom. It's very much on the menu. Now we're going to turn this on just for a second. Yeah, that's definitely going up, but we're not getting steam in here. That's for sure. Oh, it's loud, isn't it? Doesn't seem like it's acting terribly. It knows the nuclear waste is gas, but it doesn't seem like it's pumping it out. It doesn't seem like it's really pumping anything out. We're going to switch these out for the mechanism pressurized tubes, I think. You know, it's just steel and glass. It's really... Come on. Get some normal glass here. Oh, I see. You do this with the configurator. We can output the waste like this. Well, we'll use the pressurized tubes. We got them, right? A moment of truth here. This could all go very, very wrong. Let's see. Okay, well, it took the waste out. Didn't deposit it in there. It didn't deposit it in there. That's a little worrisome. Okay, so with it on, it is putting waste in here. Like it's coming right back out too, doesn't it? Oh, of course, it's going in here. We're slowly getting little bits of plutonium. I see where the waste went. We can't really break that tube. There is a solution. All we need is another waste barrel. We can pop it right up there. And now, this thing's filling up with steam. So we'll at least be able to get the steam out of there. Now I think we can set a rate limit to 0.1. If we were to turn it on and go in here, okay, it's only burning 0.1, so hopefully it won't burn through everything too fast. You'll notice I'm not leaving it on for very long stretches of time. That's because I'm terrified. Now What we could do, though, is we could slap a rotary condensator over here. We could set this to output over here. Fluids to output, that a none, to output out the front. Then we could put our trash can down and avoid the steam, right? It could be going more quickly. Could be going a lot more quickly. Now we could make it a lot faster with some speed upgrades. Now while we're here, we're gonna make ourselves a recipe for some fluorite dust, because we're gonna need some. I'm just gonna go ahead and make some, if I can get the cursor in the right spot. There we go. Oh, we gotta teach it how to make fluorite, don't we? Well, we have our speed upgraders. We'll do them. This is another way you can put upgrades into mechanism machines. Now it will be much faster. It'll use more power. But that should start draining, I hope, more quick. Oh, it doesn't have the power it needs, does it? When we have a whole nuclear reactor, we could just use the steam in a turbine to make power and send it back there, and that's probably, I think, what we're gonna end up doing. Yeah, we're about sending enough power down here for one upgrade, and even that, kind of looking a little borderline, but we are draining it out of here. That's good. That's good. I'll go ahead. I disconnected the waste tube from the centrifuge. I think it's the stuff out of the activator that we want first. We're gonna turn the sound down. That hum is bonkers. So we should be getting, as this thing produces weight, okay, we might be able to bring the temperature up a little bit more. Let's see. Okay, so we're producing in excess of steam. We're getting waste. This thing's full of polonium. That's an issue. I hope it's not all full of polonium. All these things are hard to get off, aren't they? I'm sure there's a way to do it with the, we're just gonna break this whole mess. Did not realize we were pumping out the polonium. That is not what we were trying to do. We wanted this thing, yeah, we want it outputting to the front. Gonna make that a none. We got the output, we got... That's power, right? This is power over here? Yeah, okay. So we go over here to gases. I want the output on the front so that we'll get polonium in here. And then we will go ahead and take our tubes. That takes it, puts it in there. It is pumping the polonium right into here, though. So we might just tolerate that rather than mess with it too much. I want another tube right there. Oh! We burned out our coolant. Okay. Looks like water isn't gonna do it. It's entirely too hot. Is this even pumping in? I don't think it is. Where'd it go? Panic, panic. Panic. Boy, it's hot, huh? I'm glad it's off. Really glad it's off. I guess it's turning the water into steam immediately. Okay. Oh, yep. That's what I was afraid of. It's actually not that bad. It's barely even hurting us. Alright, alright. Let's see what he had. Broke. Alright. Well, I feel like we've learned a couple of things, not the least of which is water is not going to do the trick for, what do you call it? Water is not going to do the trick for coolant. So, I think we might have gotten a little bit of bad advice. Ow. Does this taste like metal to you? Take damage from radiation poisoning. It's really not that bad. Okay, it's actually getting kind of bad. So, what we'll probably do is break all this down. Move it somewhere else. This will take forever to settle itself out. And we know a little bit more than we did before. And... well, that was disappointing. Oh, we're gonna have the big death scene there. How long do we have the... oh, regen? We'll just dispel them. And... come on. There we go. Crying out loud. Alright. So I think we're going to call it here for today. Like I said, we did learn a lot. I'm going to look into better coolants than water. It burned through that in like no time. That was less than ideal. But, we'll find another place to set it up. Everything will be okay. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.